Hey everyone, it's your old Uncle Padrino back again, and today he's going to talk to you about bears. So, what do we know about bears? They're big, they're brown, they're black, they're white. Some of them are both black and white. They hibernate all winter, they eat fish and they eat berries, and that's it, right? Now, well, we're talking about another group of bears here, okay? What other kind of bears are there? There are bears that are stuffed and fluffy and cute and cuddly. At least that's our exposure to them when we're children. And believe it or not, kids, some of those bears used to talk to us and tell us stories as well. There's also, speaking of stories, there are also a classic story of a couple of bears that live out in the forest, and they were kind of extreme to an extent. You know, one liked things too hot and too hard, the other one liked things too soft and too cold, while the other one loved things just right, at least when it came to their furniture and their porridge. So what else? We have a tribe of Native American bears. We also have a bear who likes to sneak onto military bases and cause trouble. We also have a bear whose job it is to help prevent forest fires. We also have a group of bears that care and stare. They also have some cousins too. They like to call. Get it? Call. We also have a bear. We also have bears who just want to be left alone. Some bears who just love living the good life, living off the bare necessities. And then that bear gets a pilot's license and gets a seaplane. And then he begins having adventures all around the world. And sometimes he'll run into Don Carnage, the leader of the air pirates. So every once in a while, they'll go back and forth with each other. Okay, so let's put them here. So there are a lot of bears around, okay? But we need to talk about a special group of bears who have addiction issues. And there are some bears that have a lot of addiction issues. So we have bears that are addicted to social media. We also have bears who are hopped up on juice, both figuratively and literally. When they drink the juice, they go bouncing here and there and everywhere, right? And we have a bear that's addicted to picnic baskets. And we have a bear who has a severe case of honey addiction, okay? So, but now there's a new bear on the block. Cocaine Bear, right? So he's probably a fan of Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown from the show Metalocalypse. Either that or he's probably Dr. Roxo's pet. Who knows? Kind of like Grizzly Adams with his pet bear Ben. So anyway, let's talk about this movie, all right? I'm going to talk about a little bit about the story without giving anything away. So this movie takes place in the mid-'80s, and you can tell because, I mean, of the tech, you know, of the it's a nostalgia kick basically because of the tech and the pop culture and the clothing, you know, landline phones, anyone. So you also have you also see the, you know, winners don't use drugs, or the you know, this is your brain and this is your brain on drug commercials basically. So the drug war is basically beginning at this point in time. So in the beginning, you basically have this guy, I don't know if he's a pilot or not, but he's on a plane and he's going crazy, and he's basically just dumping dozens and dozens of duffel bags filled with tons of cocaine out into the darkness, basically landing in random places. And guess what? As you know by the title, and you can see in the trailers, basically you know what happens because some of that coke lands into the forest, right? So, the characters. You have a mother and a daughter, and you have the daughter's best friend. You have two drug dealers who were sent out by the cartel, by the father, by one of them is the son of one of the drug dealers basically, and he's he's a part of the cartel. So he sends his son and his friend out to collect, you know, the missing coke basically. And then you have two cops who learn about the missing coke and knows of the cartel going after it and decides to go tail him basically. So those are all of your characters. So, and of course you have the bear. So here's a problem. I went into this movie and probably with high expectations, and I ended up being disappointed. Look, let's clear the air. I didn't think this movie was going to be like an Oscar winner or anything like that. But the trailers led me to believe that this was going to be a funny movie. It was going to be along the lines of, say, like Police Academy or Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. That's probably the better example. But what I got was a completely opposite. It was I think maybe about 30 to 45 minutes within to the movie, it was boring. I mean, and there were about maybe 6 to 7, maybe 8 people at the most in the theater with me, and there were hardly any laughs. I mean, there was a few chuckles here and there, but there were hardly any laughs. Now, this movie isn't a horror movie either, but so I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's classified, but the trailers were misleading. You have to admit, to an extent, the trailers are misleading. Say, for example, the movie back in this past December, Violent Night. The trailers gave you what you expected in this movie. It was basically what? Die Hard with Santa. Santa was John McClane and he was taking out the bad guys. With this, I kind of expected something a little more funnier and to laugh until I'm crying and my stomach's hurting and my sides are aching, things like that, and your heart goes pitter-pat watching Felix the Cat. So as far as this movie goes, as far as the story goes, here's what I would have done, all right? And I'm not a professional in this, but here's what I would have done. I would have taken out the mother and the kids because, in all honesty, they were worthless in this. They were just kind of in the way. Now, I really don't know why they had to be in this movie. Now, let me take that back. I do know why they had to be in this movie because I think they were the stakes in this movie, basically. Anything bad happened to them or anything like that, you were rooting for the mother and the children, basically, and that's what they were for this. But in all honesty, I would have taken them out, and what I would have done was, instead of having 2 or 3 drug dealers going after it from the cartel, I would have had several dozens of men combing the entire forest and looking for all of these different missing bags of coke, basically. And I think that would have been a better idea. And that way you have and you have the bear who's hopped up on coke, either mauling them and killing them or severely injuring them. And it's like, how is this bear in different areas all at once? Well, you kind of reveal it near the end. It wasn't one bear that's hopped up on coke. There's 3 bears hopped up on coke, kind of like the classic story in a sense, but, kind of tying it back to the classic story. So I think that would have been a lot better of a story. Maybe it wouldn't have been as funny. I would try to still make it funny, but I think that would have made for a better story, in all honesty. So now, here's the thing. I understand I'm not a part of the subculture as far as drugs go. Okay, I've never done drugs, and I mean, look, if you do, more power to you. Go for it. I don't care. Do whatever it is you want to do, whatever makes you happy and gets you through the day. Fine. But there was a movie back in the early 2000s called Pineapple Express. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie or not, but I went into that movie thinking that it was going to be funny, and it wasn't. I was disappointed in that movie. And I think part of the reason is what? Because it appeals to that culture, all right? And I think that's what this movie is going to be as well. It's not going to be this cult classic. It's going to be something that's going to be appealing to the subculture. You'd have to be high or stoked up on coke in order to watch this and enjoy this movie, basically. So I think this is where I think this is why I didn't enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy The Hangover either, parts 1, 2, or 3. And I think I only watched 1, I think, if I remember correctly. But because I don't drink and get drunk. So that movie was boring to me, and it wasn't really funny to me. This movie wasn't really funny to me either. Now, again, if you want to watch it, great, more power to you. My rating for this movie is, in all honesty, I wouldn't waste my time and money on it. Now, if you're remotely curious about it, wait until it hits the streaming service. This movie is made by Universal, so it'll show up on the Peacock streaming service in maybe about 2 or 3 months anyway. But or wait until it comes on cable. Save yourself some money, at the very least, or watch it on TV with commercial interruptions. That way, you can just bow out if you want to. But this movie, I'm not mad about this movie, but I am disappointed in the movie. It's a failure in my opinion. I can praise it for one thing though. They were trying to do something different, something original, something that was completely off the wall. And, they tried to hit a home run and they missed. Strike one. Okay, no problem. I'm not upset about that. Now, if they were to try to make something new in this kind of vein again, hopefully it will be better and it will turn out better. And I'll be willing to give it another chance. But overall, as far as this movie goes, I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of disappointed in it. Like I said, I probably expected too much. And maybe that's because, again, I'm not part of their subculture. So I get it. It's not aimed towards me. It's aimed towards everybody else or people within that subculture. Fine. More power to you. If you want to watch it, go for it. So that's about it. Now, to end this video, Stan's not here, as you can see. So to end this video, I'm going to do something random. I'm going to pay homage to an episode of Freakazoid, and I'm going to put something random at the end of this video. Now, here is Stan Lee fighting a bear.
You want to mess with the man bear? Well, here I am. They don't call me the man for nothing. I'm gonna go old school on ya. Here's a picnic punch to the puss, bear. This is how we do things in Manhattan. How do you like that semen slam? I once beat the Hulk.
See you next time.
Yay! It's your old pal Yogi. Did you watch the movie that we reviewed? Do you agree or disagree with our review? Place a comment down in the comments section below and make sure you hit the like button. More likes means more picnic baskets for your old pal. T-I-E. See you next time.